American sailors and converting them to slaves.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the first wars that the United States fought was against Islam.
You know,
You can call them, you can say they were Islamic extremists if you want to. But frankly, that was normal practice along the Barbary Coast. Nothing extreme whatsoever about it. And do you know what? Ironically enough, in the Middle East and Africa, they're like, that's the only place where it's still okay to have slaves.
now you would think that would be a touchy subject
And
with the president.
It's still one of the few places on the planet where it's okay to beat women,
Yep. Kill homosexuals.
and hang homosexuals,
Or
with
stone them.
cranes, or just get them up on top of a tall building, shove them off with their hands tied, and if they still survive the fall, then you can stone them.
Or you could put them in a cage, douse them with fuel, and light them on fire. They like that, too. You know, they love to do that.
But, hey, man, that's okay. All that stuff is happening around the world to gay people. But, here in America, they can have a wedding cake. They can get their wedding cake made. They can force people who don't agree and who have a problem of conscience with homosexuality, with a homosexual wedding, they can force people to make a wedding cake. And that is the cause of the day
Yeah.
amongst the Democrat Party and the liberals. Now, you know what's really funny? For as far back as 2007, 2008, you and I were when we were looking at the Republican Party,
Mm-hmm.
we kept saying, hey guys, every time we get involved in these social issues, we lose our focus and we get distracted, and important things like our economy
Mm-hmm.
gets shoved over to the wayside, and we tend to lose elections.
Yeah. In case you're wondering, what Casey's alluding to here is there was a bill passed in Indiana that it was a Religious Freedom Protection Act, I guess you could call it. All it stated was if you're being, all these court cases where someone has like a gay couple has went to a place that does wedding cakes and says, we want you to make our wedding cake. The business owners happen to be, Christians. And they said, we really don't want to do gay weddings. Well, we're going to make you do our wedding, whether you like it or not, even though there's 50 other places in our area that we could get it done. No, we're going to force you to do it. And the courts have agreed. In some places, the courts have agreed. Now, Indiana took a step to say, you know what, we don't want to see this happen to our citizens. Because, I think it was up in New York, these people had a barn.
Oh, yeah.
And that they did weddings and things like that. And a gay couple came and said, we want to have our wedding here. And they said, no, this is our property. And, we have allowed people to do weddings here. But no, we don't want to do that. Well, the state of New York said you can do it or go to jail. Or lose your business. And lose your business. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the thing is that particular law that Indiana enacted took almost word for word the language of a federal law that was signed by Bill Clinton,
Mm-hmm.
guaranteeing their rights, which that law was used to guarantee the rights of Native Americans to use peyote in their religious services. That law, all it actually does, it does not guarantee you, because Alabama's got the same law.
Yeah.
Okay. It does not grant you the right to say, if you're a restaurant owner, to refuse service to somebody because they're gay. all it says is if you have a religious objection to a given thing, that when the government brings a suit against you,
Mm-hmm.
your religious convictions may be considered by the court
Mm-hmm.
in determining the outcome of your case. It does not guarantee
No.
that you win. It
And-
does not guarantee you the right to discriminate against somebody else on the basis of their sexual preference, their race, anything else.
Well-
You're not even guaranteed to win the case.
Well, not to
According to that
mention,
law.
as it is right now, the the gay community are not even mentioned in this bill. You know why? You know why they're not?
Because
It doesn't have anything to do with them.
Well, see, the government still doesn't want people, and it's not right for you to discriminate against other people based on their sexual preference.
Absolutely not.
Not even if you're a Christian, according to the Christian faith.
Heck, especially if you're a Christian.
Yeah, see, the thing is, as Christians, we have to love everybody.
Yep.
It even goes so far in the Holy Bible to say we have to love our enemies and pray for our enemies.
Yep.
So, you know...
Look, you and I have given much airtime to this
Mhm.
topic. Our stance on it has been consistent, and one would think well known by now. We have said repeatedly that as far as gay marriage goes, that this is a civil rights issue, that it's not right to say you're less of a human being because of your sexual preferences, no more than it's right to say you're less of a human being because of your particular race. All right? However, this is where things make me break with the gay community.
Yeah, this is where Marty and I now, we have to take this other stand and say that the gay community has now turned on us because apparently we're not gay friendly enough.
Because we won't agree 100% wholeheartedly with every move they're making.
And we've also been lied to.
Yeah.
Because all of these years, all of our gay friends have told us, and some of them are still, telling us actually, hey guys, we don't really care to force a Christian to do anything against their religious faith. That if you'll just, get us the right to get married, and so that we can leave our property to each other,
Mm-hmm.
so that other family members who don't like us can't come in and break the will, and
we agreed with all of that.
Yes, we agreed with all that and said, hey man, you should have the same protection under the law that everybody else has.
However, ...
Yeah. However, it turns out that at least there's a big segment of the gay community that has been lying all along, because now that their marriage has been declared legal in certain states, they're deliberately targeting Christian businesses and compelling them with the force of law to celebrate their marriage.
See,
their union.
the way you put that right there. All right, we were talking earlier today. If a gay couple should walk into, if you do things for weddings, right? If you're a wedding person, whatever end of the wedding industry that you're in, they come into your place of business and they say, we'd like this wedding cake. All right, if you are a Christian and, you can bake them this cake, but should you be forced to go to their ceremony and participate in it?
See, no.
If you own property, if you just own property like these people in New York, and your religious convictions tell you that, while you're going to love the sinner and not like the sin, you shouldn't participate in this. If you believe that drinking, all right, is a sin, it's like forcing someone. It's like forcing an alcoholic to go to a bar to drink, almost.
Or let's turn this around. Let's just turn this around. Say you're an atheist.
Uh-huh.
And you own a barn.
Mm-hmm.
Does a Christian then have the right to say, say you rent your barn out
Mm-hmm.
to atheist groups to meet?
Right.
Can a Christian compel you as an atheist to use your barn to hold a religious service that you don't believe in and you don't think should be done there? Or let's take this a little further. Should these same people who have a barn
Mm-hmm.
where people have weddings,
Mm-hmm.
does this mean that if a satanic group wants to come in and hold a black mass
Mm.
in that barn?
Or, all right, what if it happens to be a Muslim-owned business? Now, remember, we're talking about people who still believe it's okay to stone homosexuals and hang them in the public square. Do you think that the gay community is going to be marching to those types of businesses and demanding that they allow, that they participate in their ceremonies? Are they going to do that? Should a Muslim-owned business be compelled by law to serve you and I a bacon sandwich?
See, this is where the thing is, Muslims are not being targeted.
Mm-mm.
Kosher bakeries are not being targeted.
No. The atheists are not being targeted because, believe it or not, there's a huge portion of the atheist community that is extremely homophobic.
Mm-hmm.
Are they being targeted? No. See, this is the gay community right now are going after Christians because they are an easy target, and it's just that simple. And they're an easy target. I hate to say this, man, but Christians are an easy target because we're lazy. And a lot of our Christian brothers and sisters are just plain old scared.
Well, they're afraid to lose their livelihood. And this is something that Marty and I were talking about earlier today. I mean, Marty and I are both kind of jaded about this whole wedding industry.
Mm.
The dress must be perfect. The venue must be perfect. The cake must be perfect. Blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, blah.
And it must be made by this person.
Which, if you're a Christian, the important part of the wedding ceremony is the vows that you say to each other before God.
Well,
everything else is window dressing and absolutely unimportant to the proceeding.
should be.
So, as a Christian, when you involve yourself in the wedding industry, one thing you're going to have to realize is that whatever you do is window dressing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the photographs that you make, the cakes that you bake, the flowers that you are prepare and deliver and set up and all that kind of stuff, none of that actually matters. It's the vows that
Right.
are said, and it's a sacred. As Christians, we believe that marriage is a sacred right.
And there's
So
no
maybe-
way you can justify forcing someone to go directly against something that they hold as dear as their own religious convictions.
I would also say to my Christian brothers and sisters, I know that you make your choices about what kind of careers you want and what kind of private businesses you want to run.
Right.
But maybe if you're involved in the wedding industry with the wedding trappings of a wedding, maybe you need to reconsider your business model.
But you know what, though, man? I'm starting to think that this isn't so much about... it's not so much about the gay community's rights or civil rights anymore.